Good evening. This is Akashvani. I am Valsa Williams with the news at 9. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi expresses anguish over train accident in Baleswar, Odisha, says stringent action will be taken against those responsible for the mishap. Mr. Modi visits train crash site and takes stock of the situation, also interacts with injured in Baleswar Hospital. Death toll rises to 288 and over 1,000 injured. Condolence messages pouring in from across the country and abroad. Government bans 14 fixed-dose medicines for posing possible health risks. Indian-American Ajay Banga assumes charge as World Bank president. And in Hockey Pro League, India beat Britain 4-2 on penalty shootout in London. Prime Minister Narendra Modi visited the train mishap site at Bahanagar in Baleswar district of Odisha this afternoon and took stock of the situation. Mr. Modi held a review meeting with senior railway officials. He also visited Fakir Mohan Medical College and Hospital in Baleswar and interacted with the injured. He was accompanied by Railways Minister Ashwini Vaishnav and Union Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan. Mr. Modi interacted with Odisha's Revenue and Disaster Management Minister Pramila Malik. Prime Minister Modi expressed anguish over the incident, saying that directions have been given to probe the cause of the accident from every angle. Mr. Modi said those responsible for the mishap will be dealt with stringently. The Prime Minister praised the Odisha government and common people for lending a helping hand, which resulted in speedy rescue operations.
हर प्रकार की जांच के निर्देश दिए गए हैं और जो भी दोषी पाया जाएगा उसको सख्त से सख्त सजा हो उसे बख्शा नहीं जाएगा। मैं उड़ीसा सरकार का भी यहाँ के प्रशासन के सभी अधिकारियों का के नागरिकों का भी हृदय से अभिनंदन करता हूँ क्योंकि उन्होंने इस संकट की घड़ी में चाहे ब्लड डोनेशन का काम हो चाहे रेस्क्यू ऑपरेशन में मदद की बात हो जो भी उनसे बन पड़ता था करने का प्रयास किया है कि उनके सहयोग के कारण ऑपरेशन को तेज गति से आगे बढ़ा पाए।
The Prime Minister said the need of the hour is to restore normal train services on the track.
आगे रिलीफ के लिए और जल्द से जल्द ट्रैक रिस्टोर हो यातायात का काम तेज गति से फिर से आए इन तीनों दृष्टि से सुविचारित रूप से प्रयास आगे बढ़ाया है। अस्पताल में भी जो घायल नागरिक थे उनसे मैंने बात की है लेकिन परमात्मा हम सबको शक्ति दे कि हम जल्द से जल्द इस दुख की घड़ी से निकले। मुझे पूरा विश्वास है कि हम इन घटनाओं से भी बहुत कुछ सीखेंगे और अपनी व्यवस्थाओं को भी और जितना नागरिकों की रक्षा को प्राथमिकता देते हुए आगे बढ़ाएंगे। दुख की घड़ी है हम सब प्रार्थना करें इन परिजनों के लिए।
Mr. Modi also spoke to the Cabinet Secretary and the Health Minister from the mishap site and directed them to provide all help to the injured and their families. Before visiting the accident site, Mr. Modi chaired a high-level meeting in New Delhi to review the situation. The aspects relating to rescue, relief and medical attention to those affected were discussed in the meeting. Home Minister Amit Shah, Cabinet Secretary Rajiv Gauba and NDRF Chief S.N. Pradhan were among those who attended the meeting. Odisha Chief Minister Naveen Patnaik took stock of the situation this morning at the accident site. He visited Baleswar District Hospital to supervise the treatment of injured persons. The death toll in the train accident has risen to 288 and around 1,000 are feared critically injured. Meanwhile, several special and express trains are being cancelled following the accident. Odisha and Tamil Nadu governments announced a one-day state mourning today. Prime Minister Narendra Modi announced an ex gratia of 2 lakh rupees each to the next of kin of each deceased. He said each injured will be given 50,000 rupees. Railways Minister Ashwini Vaishnav also announced an ex gratia for the accident victims. He said 10 lakh rupees will be given to the next of kin of each killed, 2 lakh rupees each to the grievously injured and 50,000 rupees each for minor injuries. Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin has announced an ex gratia of 5 lakh rupees each to the families of the deceased and 50,000 rupees each to the injured. Condolences are pouring in from state chief ministers and political leaders on the train crash. Chief ministers of Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Chhattisgarh and Haryana are among those who have condoled the incident. Leaders of parties including the BJP, AIADMK, Congress and TMC conveyed their condolences to the families of the deceased and injured. World leaders have also offered condolences on the tragedy. They include Russian President Vladimir Putin, British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak, Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida, Bangladesh Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, President of UAE Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, Prime Minister of Pakistan Shehbaz Sharif, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, European Council President Charles Michel, Taiwan President Tsai Ing-wen, and US Envoy to India Eric Garcetti. Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin today held a discussion with his cabinet colleagues and a team of higher officials who are camping in Odisha to coordinate relief measures for the accident victims and the stranded passengers. More than 90 beds have been kept ready at the Rajiv Gandhi Government Hospital in Chennai for the injured. Meanwhile, a special train carrying the families of the passengers of the ill-fated train left Chennai for Odisha this evening. This is Akashvani giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts. The government has banned 14 fixed-dose combination FDC drugs as they have been found to lack therapeutic justification and may pose risks to health. A government notification said it is necessary to prohibit the manufacture, sale and distribution of the fixed-dose medicines in larger public interest. An expert committee recommended that there is no therapeutic justification for the ingredients contained in these FDCs, which may involve risk to human beings. FDC drugs contain a combination of 2 or more active pharmaceutical ingredients in a single form. They are usually manufactured in a fixed ratio and distributed. The 14 FDCs include combinations such as nimesulide plus paracetamol dispersible tablets, amoxicillin and plus bromhexine, and Folcodaine plus promethazine. The drugs are used for treating cough, common infections, fever and body ache. Indian-American Ajay Banga has taken over as the president of the World Bank. 63-year-old Banga has become the first ever Indian-American to head the World Bank. He replaces David Malpass, who announced his decision to step down in February. On the 3rd of last month, the executive directors of the World Bank selected Banga as the 14th president of the World Bank for a 5-year term. In February, President Joe Biden had announced that the U.S. would nominate Banga to lead the World Bank. On the completion of 9 years of the Narendra Modi government, Akashvani News brings you a series of special stories on the initiatives taken by the government. Today, we take a look at how PM Swanidhi scheme provides affordable working capital loan to street vendors to resume their livelihoods adversely affected due to the COVID-19 pandemic.
Vendors can avail a working capital loan of up to rupees 10,000 from PM Swanidhi scheme, which is repayable in monthly installments in the tenure of 1 year. On timely or early repayment of the loan, an interest subsidy at the rate 7% annum will be credited to the bank accounts of beneficiaries through direct benefit transfer on quarterly basis. Manish Pal, a vendor from Ahmedabad, said that he had taken a loan of rupees 10,000 and started to sell street food.
मैंने 10,000 की लोन ली, पूरी सब्जी की लारी लगाई लाल दरवाजे पे। हम गरीब लोगों के अंदर थोड़ी सुधार आने के लिए हमने योजना बनाई और आपका पीएम मोदी योजना से हमने लोन लेने के बाद हमको अच्छा लगा।
The PM Street Vendors Atmanirbhar Nidhi scheme is fully funded by Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. The scheme opens up new opportunities to vendor sector to move up the economic ladder. Bharat Devmani, Akashvani News, Ahmedabad.
In Manipur, peace committees comprising ministers and MLAs have reached the violence-affected areas to restore normalcy there. Meanwhile, women have staged protests at several places of the valley districts condemning the action of Assam Rifles personnel, which blocked the entry gate of the Sugno police station yesterday. Manipur Chief Minister N. Biren Singh and Manipur Police Department have released press statements stating that the incident occurred due to the misunderstanding between the forces. The Assam Rifles and Manipur Police are working together to restore normalcy in the state. A senior delegation of Shiromani Gurudwara Prabandhak Committee SGPC met Home Minister Amit Shah in New Delhi today. The delegation submitted a representation on various issues pertaining to functioning of Gurudwaras and other SGPC matters, including bringing all Gurudwaras under the management of the SGPC board. The delegation felt that this will streamline the management of Gurudwaras. The Home Minister assured the leaders of support and cooperation in these matters. U.S. Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin will arrive in New Delhi tomorrow on a 2-day visit to India. German Federal Minister of Defense is also arriving on a 4-day visit to India beginning Monday. Raksha Mantri Rajnath Singh will meet his U.S. counterpart on Monday, while talks with the German Federal Minister of Defense will take place on Tuesday. A host of bilateral defense cooperation issues will focus on industrial cooperation, are likely to be discussed during the two meetings. Apart from his meeting with Raksha Mantri, the German Federal Minister of Defense Boris Pistorius is likely to meet a few defense startups during an event organized by Innovations for Defense Excellence in New Delhi. Minister of External Affairs Dr. Subramaniam Jaishankar met with UAE Minister of Foreign Affairs Sheikh Abdullah bin Zayed Al Nahyan on the sidelines of the Friends of BRICS meeting in Cape Town, South Africa. The two ministers discussed the strategic relations and cooperation between India and the UAE, including the Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement. The ministers also discussed ways to strengthen cooperation between India and the UAE in areas such as energy, investment and technology. They also exchanged views on regional and international developments, including the situation in Afghanistan and the Ukraine crisis. Heat wave conditions are likely to continue over Bihar, West Bengal and Sikkim during the next 5 days. The Indian Meteorological Department has forecast rise in maximum temperatures by 4 to 6 degrees Celsius over plains of northwest India during the next 5 days. It said temperatures will rise by 2 to 3 degrees Celsius over central India during the next 2 days. Yesterday, maximum temperatures were in the range of 40 to 43 degrees over many parts of East India and adjoining East Madhya Pradesh, Vidarbha, Marathwada, Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. Maximum temperatures were above normal by 4 to 6 degrees over many parts of East Bihar, West Bengal, Sikkim and northeast India. Meanwhile, the weatherman has predicted thunderstorms accompanied by gusty winds over Rajasthan during the next 3 days. Light to fairly widespread rainfall with thunderstorm is likely over Kerala, Lakshadweep, Karnataka and some parts of Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh during the next 5 days. On to sports, India beat Great Britain 4-2 after a penalty shootout in the FIH Pro League in London today. The shootout triumph, courtesy misses from Britain's Rupert Shipperley and Phil Roper, handed India the bonus point after an exhilarating 4-4 draw. Abhishek Upadhyay, Lalit Kumar, Harmanpreet Singh and Manpreet shot a goal each in shootout. India sustained early pressure and pulled ahead with Harmanpreet Singh's drag flick from a short corner. Mandeep Singh's and Sukhjit Singh's shot in the second quarter led India into half-time. Both goals were crafted by midfielder Hardik Singh. India sits second with 24 points after 11 games, while Britain has 26 from 10. The third Khelo India University Games concluded in Varanasi this evening. The closing ceremony was attended, among others, by Union Youth Affairs and Sports Minister Anurag Singh Thakur and Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh Yogi Adityanath. Speaking at the ceremony, Anurag Singh Thakur said that the biggest platform for the selection of talented players in the country has come out of the Khelo India campaign. Our correspondent reports that homage was paid at the ceremony to the people who lost their lives in the Baleswar train accident. Meanwhile, Punjab University regained the champion's crown on the final day. At least 11 new games records were created over 12 competition days. In Thailand Open Badminton, Indian shuttler Lakshya Sen lost in the semi-finals to Kevin of Thailand 21-17, 17-21, 13-21 in Bangkok. In another semi-final, CY Lee of Hong Kong beat French player T. Popov 21-14, 21-16. In women's singles, Chinese Vijay Ho and South Korean S.Y. On reached the finals. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi expresses anguish of a train accident in Baleswar, Odisha, says stringent action will be taken against those responsible for the mishap. Mr. Modi visits train crash site and takes stock of the situation, also interacts with the injured in Baleswar Hospital. Death toll rises to 288 and over 1,000 injured. Condolence messages pouring in from across the country and abroad. Government bans 14 fixed-dose medicines for posing possible health risks. Indian American Ajay Banga assumes charge as World Bank president. And in Hockey Pro League, India beat Britain 4-2 on penalty shootout in London. That is all in the news at 9. Good night.